I'm going to show you two courses that I've been spending most of my time internationalizing. This one here is a Writing 122 course, and it's on, they're going to research and write on one particular global conflict that they choose. And then, but what we do to sort of warm them up is I choose 3 different conflicts in the world. So actually when I do the Indian subcontinent, I do several different ones. And then we do a section on the Turkish-Kurdish conflict, and then I do a Bosnia conflict. And you can see I intersperse their research skills throughout. Now, I want to sort of state my assumption about internationalization straight out, so it's not sort of secret and annoying, because I hate it when people's assumptions are in the background and they never admit to it. So for me, it's, I don't know if you've made anything with phyllo dough before, but with phyllo dough, it's a completely annoying product to work with, because you take each sheet and then you put it down and you butter oil every single thin sheet and you put the next one down. And for me, that's kind of what internationalization is about. So I want to tell you the layers that I use, and you'll see them in the course as well. First, of course, traveling. And these pictures are taken from CIE trips, and so they sort of symbolize the traveling part. Then there's the sort of media part, where once I get back from a place, I listen to years and years and years of news about the particular place, trying to learn as much as I can. So for example, and this is how I incorporate that into the course.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Robert Siegel.
And I'm Michelle Norris. People in Sri Lanka are trying to piece their lives back together. It's been a month since the end of nearly 3 decades of civil war.
So they, as part of the course, they'll listen to news stories, and then they have to analyze them for bias, for perspective. What does this story leave out that the other one doesn't leave out? And that's a whole huge layer of my own internationalization that I bring to the course. Also, of course, you have to talk to people who grew up and who have I mean, I didn't grow up in Sri Lanka, or India, so I need to have that resource, that part of the whole process too. So I teach Indian literature, and Indian students and students from the Indian subcontinent take that class. And so with some of them, I tend to maintain friendships and mentoring relationships. And so I had one of my students from about 5 years ago. She helped me with this course. And it's hilarious. So she acted as if she was a news reporter from different historical time periods. So I think I'm gonna take you back to 1977. She did such a good job. This is some weird old Indian newscast that she found.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 27 News. This is Pooja Kishore reporting live from New Delhi on July 5th, 1977. Big news today from Pakistan. Convinced that their country was in danger, the military authority tossed Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and his party PCC out of office. His removal comes after weeks of violent protests and martial law throughout the country, actions taken by Bhutto that caused the military.
So obviously in that case, I couldn't get a newscast from that historical period. So what I did is I compiled the data, came up with a script, and then had her read the script as part of the course. And she was wonderful for doing it. So there's getting students involved, getting colleagues involved there. I was going to do a Palestinian-Israeli section of this, and this is going to be my first time teaching this course, and so I put that off because that's always such an intense experience to even talk about the conflict in a class. I didn't want to make my job any more difficult than it already is going to be. So, but I have a colleague who teaches world and Middle Eastern history at a community college in Sacramento, and we're going to do a a Skype interview where I ask him questions about the conflict, and then that will get imported into the course, and they can see the two of us. Let me show you something else I did with a student who has spent a lot of time in Bosnia. If I can really fast. Hopefully this will work. This is the new software. It just started like in the last 24 hours. So here, greetings everyone. Welcome to Exploring World Conflict. Today we're going to look at, so I don't know how to make this big because this is totally new, but, but so this is a virtual world, like this doesn't actually exist, but and then they put us into it, like our real bodies into this virtual world. So this is my student Kara, and I'm going to interview her about her experiences in Bosnia. She's going to explain some things because the Bosnian conflict is a very difficult conflict. And then there's this weird PCC thing floating in the background. It's hilarious. So, okay, so now there's one more thing, and I've saved the best for last. I'm going to change courses now. The only other thing I want to say as I'm changing courses is there's just critical thinking ideas that I do for each unit. So for example, I think on the Bosnia unit I do minority-majority relations. For another unit I talk about the role of the military. For another unit I talk about the role of who was there first, like how much should it matter who was there, and who, how do you decide who was there first. I do one on the role of religion in governance. So with each of these conflicts, there's an overall theme that people can talk about amongst themselves. So now one more thing. This is my World Lit class. And this is actually happening now. There's actual students in this. So who's been to, besides Sarah, who I know has been there, who's been to Cordoba before? Okay, lots of people. When I went to Cordoba and saw the mosque, the old mosque, I was totally disappointed. It wasn't really a mosque and it wasn't really a church. And I was like, this is super disappointing. So, it's hilarious because I didn't think it was that beautiful. So, so this is a lecture. Wait a second. Oh, I see. I'm going to stop it for a second. So this is a lecture on Andalusia, Cordoba, because now we're in literature, right? We're not in Writing 122, Analyzing Media. And so I show them pictures from modern-day Cordoba, what that mosque looks like. But then I wanted to somehow get what Cordoba was like in the 10th and 11th century. So, working with Mark Cole in Media Services, we went into Second Life, and we actually found 10th century Cordoba, and I went there. So I want to see if we... Okay, wait.
Is that why you weren't on campus all those months?
Yes, it was fantastic. Okay, now wait. Here I am.
If we were going to pray, one of the places we could go to wash our hands and arms and feet. But we're not going to pray today. We're just going to go into look. So here we are in the mosque. Extremely beautiful in here. There's no sense of hodgepodge.
It's too dark, though.
We were going to pray. These are our prayer mats. You can get a sense of the space and the architecture. It's kind of like again, a simplistic version, but I think it captures the original. You can see also I've taken off my shoes because when you enter mosque, you're not supposed to have shoes on, so I've been dutiful in that way. And there's the Quran right here. I do not read Arabic, unfortunately, but those of you who do, maybe you can tell us what surah that is. Here you get a sense again of the architecture. Very, very amazing. So the last time I was in here, this guard who had a rifle, a gun, came in and stood there very ominously, so I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, in Second Life, anything can happen. Can you turn on lights for me, please? Now, this is the technological stuff. This actually is a video, but for some reason, I can't get the streaming thing. But I actually am moving around in this video, so that's a little sad. I can't show you that. But what else did I want to say? Yeah, in Second Life, the very first time I went into this mosque, there was this Jordanian guard who suddenly appeared with a rifle, and he just stood there and looked at me, and I was like, it was very scary. So from this mosque, I then go, and this is why I wanted to go to 10th century Cordoba, I then go to a synagogue, and then I also go to a church, and I actually just go, like you see me walk down the streets, and we go into the Christian quarter, and we go into the Jewish quarter, and I talk about it as we go. And that's not there anymore in present-day Cordoba. That's what I wanted, and I couldn't get. Okay, so hopefully that sort of inspired you to do sort of wild and wacky new things. Okay.